Hey everyone, Craig Williams here, back with another video. In this video and the following videos, I'm going to attempt to give you a better understanding of Sylenth and how you guys can use it in your own productions and hopefully understand everything that's going on with the synthesizer, and hopefully you can use these techniques and apply them to other synthesizers, give you a bit of giving you a broader sort of knowledge of what's going on. So first thing we're going to do is just cover the different sections of Sylenth so you guys can know what I'm talking about during the tutorials, and you're not just looking at the screen going, what the hell is he talking about? So the different sections we've got, this whole section at the top here, you can just refer to it as one of the parts. You've got part A and part B. If you go a bit further in, you've got the oscillators. So we've got 4 oscillators in this synthesizer. In between the 2 oscillators, we've got the amp envelope. So that's amplitude envelope. And it's the same on both sections. If we come down here, you've got the master effects. So obviously you can see distortion, phaser, chorus and whatnot. To the left of that, we've got the filter section and the filter control. And as you can see with the filter section, as we flip over the parts, it changes that as well. Over here we have the mixer section. This whole section down the bottom here is the modulation panel. And then down the bottom here, it's just what I like to call just like like a keyboard section, because it has stuff like the modulation wheel, the pitch bend wheel, and stuff to do with how it actually gets played. So you got mono legato and portamento, which we'll talk about later. Now we sort of covered broad sections. We'll just go into a bit more detail. So as you can see at the top here, we've got the part selector. So and most of the times you can see in the LCD window here that it's going to display what's going on. So we've got the part selector there. If you cruise over here, we've got a solo mode. So if we go over to solo, and that solos each part, so that will solo part A if you're on part A there, or part B if you're on part B. This is good if you're making more complex sounds, and instead of you having to pull the voices down to 0 so you only hear the part B or part A, you just push solo and it just solos the section that you've selected. So if we, so that's solo in part B. That's solo in part A. Take it off, so you can hear what's going on there. If we cruise across over to the right here, we've got the sync. This is like a forced sync between the DAW and Sylenth. So that syncs things like LFO rates, delay times, and stuff like that. So if you're doing LFO rates here, instead of having it, if you have free off and then you have it synced to a note value here, it's going to be locked in with your DAW. Again, with delays, if you have time delays on there, it will be locked in with your DAW. Quickly just cover the knobs here. To change the values, obviously it's just up and down. If you open this, that's probably the first thing you've just looked and sort of played around with one of the dials or whatever. You can do up and down, or if you hold down the option key on a Mac, I'm not sure what it is on PC, and then you can change it. So if you're not sort of happy with using up and down, I don't know why you would, but maybe you're a bit crazy like that. Also, if you want to know what the value is, you can just click it once and then the value is shown in the LCD. So instead of you having to move it and then move it back, you can just click it once and you'll see what the value is. And again, if you want to zero it, you can double click and it will go to the center point or the zero value. If we cruise across a little bit more, we've got the MIDI learn. So this is so you can use one of your controllers if you want a bit more hands-on. You don't want to be driving the mouse so much. You might have like a fancy MIDI controller with lots of sliders and knobs and everything, and you want to spend the time setting it up. You can just set that up there, and away you go. And then obviously you got the reset, so if you're not happy with any of your selections, you can just reset that out. If we come down to sort of the main window in the center here, we've got up the top here, we've got your banks. So this is how you can select your different banks. If you come across, you can select your presets. So if you couldn't be asked making your own sounds at all, you can just select presets and be done with it. Also, if you just want to, you're playing a sound, you can just click the up and down arrows to make it a little bit faster. This is sometimes good if you just want to get a simple sort of sound. You've already got the MIDI notes written, you can just flick through until you find something that's kind of near it and then just tweak it to sort of suit your project. If we go back over here, you've got the menu. Here obviously you can load, save the banks and presets. So if you brought third-party stuff, you can load them in here and then bring them up so you can play away. And also just underneath that you've got all the different master effects, so you've got arpeggiator, distortion, phaser and all that sort of stuff. Just to the right you've got the mixer section, so obviously this is part A and part B, and then this is the main volume. So after everything's said and done, you have your main volume, so that's how you can control the loudness going out into your DAW. That's about it, just trying to keep the videos pretty short so you guys don't sort of lose attention. In the next one we're going to cover some more of the parts, like the filter section and stuff like that. So until next time, see you later.